Hello, everyone.
Oh my God.
Hello.
I look around.
Brother, I don't know how many times I gotta warn you.
I was in the middle of role playing. I was talking.
I said 10 seconds.
You gotta let me finish my emote.
No, absolutely not. What do you mean?
I was bludgeoning him to death.
Look, man. I said, I'll unmute in a minute. I'm unmuting. You're like, yeah, you did flat-foot me this time. And I'm like, all right. And then I was like, 10 seconds. And then 10 seconds later, I went into it. And you were just all like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm ordering cookies.
Yeah. Order some cookies. It's Friday night. Your body's on break right now. It don't care.
My body looking up at you. Brother, we've been on break since 2016.
You're like, yeah, COVID was crazy, man.
Oh, dude, that was crazy. The moment I got out of the Navy and didn't have to wake up to go to PT at 5 o'clock in the morning and didn't have to go to the gym in the middle of the day. And I went from being this fucking burly, like shredded dude to being this
apart.
Fat fuck. Oh, crazy.
Everything just, because your body, like your muscles and your body's like, hell yeah. So what do we have today? Okay, all right, a little bit of a cheat day. That's all right.
Ramen. All right, that's cool. I haven't had ramen in a hot minute.
That's cool. Yeah, we'll use that as help us build up some more monster, keep everything under control. What do you mean we're not going to the gym today? All
right. Wow.
Okay.
That's usually only a weekend thing. Why is it Tuesday today? You're getting pizza.
Guess we're doing a cheat week. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, tacos. Wow. Home cooking. That's great. We haven't had that in ages.
Okay, so I guess we're getting ready for an Ironman marathon. All right, let's do it, man. It's all
2 weeks of that, huh? 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Hey guys, I don't think he's going back to the gym.
What do you mean we need to walk with a cane now?
Look, I went to the gym today. My arms are a little.
Oh my God.
A little sore, a little.
Oh.
Well, okay. So first of all, no, this isn't medical advice to our lovely audience. I went to my doctor. Sorry, I'm clearing up the gas from the Dr. Pepper. I'm not about to say like I went to the doctor and something serious bad happened. No, I did my annual checkup. Everything was looking good. Blood pressure's good. Weight's doing all right. You know, we're going on the downswing. We're doing good. And I was like, doctor, every time I exert myself through cardio, such as jogging, I throw up. What do I do? Oh, and she went, oh, well, you're a guy, so don't do cardio anymore. And I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean don't do? She's like, the best exercise
you will
for
die.
Yeah, she's like, the best exercise for you is like weightlifting. Like, lift some weights. Like, do some upper body training. Like, do that. Like, you're gonna benefit way more from that than cardio. And I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, sick.
I hated cardio. Oh, I hate running.
Same, and apparently my body does too. I was like, we're just gonna push, and then like, yeah, that was last Sunday. I was like, all right, I saw. I feel so fucking stupid now. I saw a video. That was this guy who was like, I'm gonna do this workout that this former like Marine drill instructor, I don't know his name, but apparently he's well known in the fitness community. I don't know if he's well known or not. I mean, literally, I just heard of him, that video. But I mean, like, he essentially is like, you know, doing 12-mile runs every day.
Are you talking about David Goggins?
Yes, that's what it is exactly.
Oh, you're a psycho. Dude, Goggins is an actual freak of nature. Like, he is a fucking menace, dude.
I know nothing about this. So I'm watching this YouTuber's like, I'm gonna try the David, David Doggins workout. I'm probably butchering that man's name, I'm sorry. Doggins, right? Or is it Goggins? Goggins. Okay.
Goggins.
Okay, yeah. So he's like, I'm gonna do the David Goggins workout, who does 12 miles a day and like 3 hours of gym. And he's like, I'm gonna do that for 100 days. And I'm like, well, let's see how the fuck this shit works out. And the day one, He's like he tried to do 12 miles. This dude's fucking struggling. And he's like, I got 6 miles to go. Fuck. I'm like, you got to 6 miles? That's really impressive. And he did it. And then he was like, holy shit, my legs. Oh my God. And he was just sitting there at home being like, oh my God, I did it. I did 12 miles. Oh shit. And then he was like, wait, I still have 3 hours of gym time now. Oh no. Like, could you imagine somehow managing to do a 12-hour jog or run or whatever, and then realize you still got 3 hours to go at the gym? I'm like, ugh, that's insane. But the video goes on and on. He goes through it, and he does the whole 100 days and does a bunch of marathons and shit like that, and he looks like, you know, those workout people that just all they do is work out, but they don't eat, so they kind of look like gaunt muscle men a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of what this dude looked at it. But for some reason, I was like, you know, maybe I should just try to jog 12 miles. Like, you know, like obviously I can't do it straight, but like, you know, what's my limits? What's gonna stop me? Like, just do it at my pace. I'll do all right. We'll do good, and I'm gonna push myself. God damn it, I'm gonna see where my limits are. Something about that video just got me going. Man, I just want to see what this body's capable of. Yeah, it's gonna probably suck, but I'll get better over time, right? So I start jogging. I get to like, I managed to do 1 mile, right? And then I'm about to cross the street, and I see the lights about to turn, you know, so I kind of have to cross the street now, or I have to wait. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep jogging. I'm gonna cross the street, and I did. I push. I jog, cross the street. I get to the other side, and I went, hell yeah, and I stopped. And the moment I stopped, my body was like, we're gonna throw up now, partner. And I'm just like, what?
It's all coming up.
You're like, yeah, man, you better. And I was like, well, I guess I better hide in the bushes, because it was like in a fucking busy intersection. So I had to like go in the grass. So I wasn't puking my guts out in front of people. And then I puked, and I was like, oh, I can't do that. Like, I didn't even get to like 2 miles before I started vomiting like Jesus. Crazy. Yeah. So I talked to my doctor. It's like, yeah, just every time I try cardio, because this isn't the first time I threw up doing cardio. Like, apparently I've got something in me that just goes, keep pushing. Like, yep, no, you know, just you gotta push through. You just gotta push through it. And my body literally is like, stop doing that. Like, we can't manage all this right now if you keep fucking doing that. And then, so this is like the
Stop it.
third time I've like vomited trying to do cardio. And so I talked to my doc. I'm like, so what should I do? It's like, oh, you should do upper body workout and not cardio. And I'm like,
anything but the thing you're trying to do right now.
Yeah, it's like, just do that. And so it was. I just went to the gym. I did like 30 minutes of upper body just on the variety of machines. And I'm not trying to like do anything or show anything, or I'm just gonna fucking do it and listen to my body, and my body's like, stop now. And you're like, all right, I guess I'm gonna stop, you know.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
My arms were definitely shaky today. I'm doing a little better now. Like, but afterwards, my arms were definitely like, you know, like I had some jelly arms. So it was good. I did my thing. I pushed as much as I could. We'll see how it feels tomorrow. But yeah, because I think I heard somewhere like if you fall off the wagon, it's a lot easier to like get back to where you were because of the muscle training, I suppose. I don't know. But essentially, like, if you build it up like the first time, it's gonna be really tough. And then if you like somehow, you know, you kind of like stop for like years or whatever, and then you're like, oh man, I got to do all that work. You're like, no, you'll get back to where you were in twice the time, because, you know, you know a bit more about your body, know a bit more about exercise, and also your muscles are kind of like, they've already been trained, you know, they're just kind of like out of work right now, and you just kind of have to get them back in action. So that's what I heard. I don't fucking know how true that is.
I feel like there's a I feel like there's a grace period for that.
Yeah.
And then there's just a hard fall off point.
I would think so as well. But I also like to remain hopeful that, hey, maybe, you know, who knows? So, but yeah, for me, it's just like, I gotta build up like testosterone and shit like that, just to not be so eepy all the time. Because I think all of us now, we are truly two white dudes doing a podcast. You know, a lot of men out there nowadays don't really have low testosterone just because of everything they do. I mean, it is true. It is true. I feel like just because, you know, like everyone's kind of on the computer nowadays. No one really works out, and as for guys especially, you're gonna suffer low T because of it. You know, and I think it's more common. I think it's way more common. I think before, if you had like low testosterone, I think it was just like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? You're not a man. And I was like, no, I think
just something is chemically wrong.
Yeah, no, I think it literally is. It's just like we're not really doing anything to build any testosterone naturally. So I think everyone's kind of got low T, as it were. But I don't know.
I'm not fighting predators out there trying to fight for my life right now. I got a job that has me on the computer for 16 hours.
Well, to say, we're not doing like a 40-hour job over at like a construction site or doing anything that has physical labor. We're just kind of sitting on our comfy office chairs, you know, playing Monster Hunter, and then being like, oh, that's exciting. Oh, I broke a sweat doing that. You know, I mean, that's what I think. I don't fucking know. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not providing medical advice. I
haven't practiced medicine in over a decade now. Do not trust any words that come out of my mouth.
And I, points to myself, never have done it. So I've never
listened to that guy.
Done anything with medicine. So I don't know. I like to think Big Pharma is trying to keep some shit secret. You know. Well, there was a point where like the doctor was like, we could give you testosterone shots, or you can just start lifting weights. Like, what do you want to do? And I said, give me the shots. Why would I ever want to do it?
I should get like a little set of dumbbells. Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to fucking break world records.
No.
But like a thing of dumbbells to have in my room, so that way I can, like, you know, do like arm pumps or something like that.
Get some kettlebells. Kettlebells are crazy because you could just do all sorts of shit with kettlebells. It's not just like, oh, I'm lifting, because you could do lifting as well. And then just download like a free kettlebell app. And yeah, it's you'll feel it. You'll get to feeling it. You can get kettlebells cheap on Amazon, $10-20. Shoot, free app with a little bit of annoying ads sometimes. Yeah, you got it. See, that's
my big thing is that I want to be able to carry like a box. I never want to be at the point where I'm lifting like a box to help somebody and I feel like, oh, I'm gonna fucking die. I never want that.
Right. I mean, that's just getting older. Also, you know, is gonna be. Wait. You ever? Sorry, man. I hate to tell it to you. Wait until. Well, your circumstances are probably different than mine. Wait until like you're sitting on like a ledge or something, and you're not even like high up, right? You're just like, oh, I could just leap down like 2 or 3 feet and land on my feet and be fine. And you look at that, and something in your brain's going, I don't think we can survive the impact.
I haven't been able to do that since I was like fucking 20, dude. My leg now, when I look at stairs, my leg now goes, understand this. You fight for your life with every step. One errant misstep, I will send us tumbling into the pits of Hades. You will never recover, railing or no. And I go, oh, very well. And I begin to ascend the steps.
Dude, that's anyone.
To get my water.
Dude, that's anyone. You fall down the stairs, it's fucking over. You got to get one of those like life alerts on you and shit like that. My grandmother died from a fall. That was her cause of. That was the coronary, right? No, that's eyes. The person with the dead people. What the
coroner?
Coroner. Yeah, not coronary. Yeah, coroner. Yeah, it was the coroner's report from my grandmother, because I was like, oh, please. Because essentially what happened with my grandmother is she had like pneumonia. She had COVID earlier in the year. And they're just like, oh, God, this is rough. She's not like 92 years old, you know? So like,
Jesus.
You just keep getting sick. And even my grandmother was just like, I'm kind of fucking done. Like, You know, she was, I mean, I feel like I'd like to get to a point, not in like a sad, depressed way, but kind of a point where I'm like looking at my watch. I kind of like assess everything and I go, yep, you know what? I've been here long enough. Like, if I die naturally now, I will not be sad. I will not think that I've accepted this. You know, like my grandmother was 92 and she was just like she was like, I'm ready. Like, it's time to, like, whatever it happens, let's make it happen. But you know what I mean? Like, I know that sounds morbid, but I mean, like,
it sounds metal as fuck. Or like she's like hands up, ready for death.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, and like you get to a point. I'm not saying like now. Like, I'm not saying I'm 40 years old looking at my
God,
phone.
I hope not.
No, absolutely not. But I'm saying like you kind of, because I can assess that if I were to die at the age of 40, that would be a tragedy. That would suck. You know,
dude, you're still young.
Exactly.
I may call you old, but
yeah.
brother, you're not old until you're like 65.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, like, you get to a point where you look around, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm like 70 right now. You're just like, I mean, if this was like my last year, I mean, all right, like whatever. Like I had a full life. Yeah, I did everything I wanted to do. I'm good, you know. So, I mean, that's my goal. My goal is like, I just want to. Can I make it to my 70s? Can I just make it to my 70s? If I make it to my 70s, it's no longer a tragedy. You know, I'm a guy, which means I'm probably gonna die a lot earlier on than you know my counterparts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I've made my peace with that. You know, hopefully I won't have a heart attack. We'll keep. But also, like, medicine's really good. You know, like.
Oh, dude, absolutely. It's like, aside from the idiots, and I will say idiots,
yes,
who refuse to get your fucking kids vaccinated.
Yeah. Hell
I'm gonna
yeah.
bounce your head off the concrete if I ever catch you, and you're like, I don't believe in vaccines. You're about to believe in these hands. They're very real, in fact. You're
definitely believe in these hands.
If I catch you out there spreading measles or the Black Plague or some shit like that, guess what?
I think, what was it? Like, I was at a doctor one time in like the early like 2010s, and they were like, "Yeah, measles is making a comeback." I'm like, "What do you mean by that?" You're like, yeah. What do you mean measles is making a comeback? What the fuck? Look. Talk with your doctor. Make sure you come to a proper educated decision from an educated standpoint, because there are people out there that can't take vaccines. And in fact, the whole reason why, you know, no. Was it measles? It might have been polio. I don't remember. No, I don't think it was polio.
There was a point in time where there was a polio outbreak.
Yes.
And people went, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, polio is coming back. It was polio. Yeah, that's also the reason why we take vaccines, specifically because not everyone can take vaccines. Like, there are people out there, like, medically, with their immune systems that they can't take vaccines.
Yes.
You know.
But that's not fucking everybody.
That's not everybody. I know my mom's got a terrible immune system now because of her MS. So yeah, I will take that shit personally now. That's that. Now you're affecting, you know, my life and the people that are around me. So yeah, please, for the love of God. And like, I swear to God, if I get a comment that's just like, and we have it, and the Dumpster Delvers comments have been really supportive of everything that we do. But I'm waiting for the day. Fucking woke liberal. Tell me what I do. Oh, I'm waiting.
Please.
I'm waiting.
Point me at the. Oh my God.
I'm waiting.
I am gonna talk about it. I kicked down the door.
What are you gonna talk about?
I pushed myself up into my chair.
Don't say names. Don't say names. Don't say names.
I'm gonna talk about YouTube comments. What about it?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say names. Actually, I'm gonna say names.
Don't say names. Don't say names. We can't be that. We can't be the bullies. We can't be the bullies.
Bully.
Can't be the bully, because then if you say specific names, and people go in the comments and harass that person, and then this clip comes up, and it's like, the argument then becomes, of course I'm getting bullied because so-and-so's sending them after me. Like, nah.
You deserve it.
Look. I know exactly what you're talking about. So, on the end note, so anyways, yeah, just to wrap up my story real quick. So when my grandma was in the hospital, she apparently had some really mean, nasty nurses that she didn't want to fucking deal with. And they were just like, from like my aunt's perspective, these are just nasty, mean nurses. which sucks. I hate if you're in the medical. I get if you have to be stern, but I hate if you're just being
shithead.
You don't like your job. There's a difference between being in an office job and going, oh, I fucking hate this place, and taking care of human lives and saying, oh, I hate this place. So what happened with my grandmother was in the middle of the night, she had to use the bathroom, but she didn't want to call the nurses because they were being mean, rude, nasty nurses. And so she's like, I'm just going to go by myself. So she did. She slipped. She fell, hit her head and that was inevitably the cause of death. She lived for a few more weeks after that, but that was and to me, I'm just kind of like, oh, that fucking sucks. Like I could have had more time, but I'm also now at the point where I'm like, she was getting sick a lot. I don't think we would have had a good quality of life if if that didn't happen. Probably been another year or two of just in and out of hospitals, being sick, yada yada yada, and yeah, you know what I mean. So it's just it is what it is. So, but yeah, so falling can absolutely. That's where I was going. I was like, I'm following the chain of events. I'm like, why did we get on this? Yeah, falling. Yeah. Absolutely. Don't ever think like, oh, if I fall, I'm just gonna hurt. No, I mean, as the older you get, falling is a fucking death sentence. Yeah.
My legs going, don't.
Yeah. It's
you are not that man.
Yeah, you gotta be careful at that. But yeah, let's talk about the comment section, which actually goes on our next point of topic, which is running games the way that you want to run games. And the fact that there are continuously people out there who say you're doing it wrong when it's like, it's really, no, I'm not. Because
I think that's my favorite thing. Go on. Continue,
no, you go on. What were you about to say?
I think that's my favorite thing is that people without any knowledge of you whatsoever will come in and have experienced something themselves and believe, regardless of everything, that their way to play the game is the true bona fide way to play the game.
Right.
And I can assure you, having played many games, that is not the case. What's great is that in the beginning of every rule book, usually every rule book, there's a rule, a caveat, a catch, some way out, so to speak, that says, hey, these are guidelines.
Yep.
You can run the game however you want. Any rules you don't like, ignore them. Any rules you want to add them. You want to make your own monsters? Here you go. You want to make your own systems? Here you go. You can use as much or as little of our games as you like. And there are people who still, knowing rule 0 of TTRPGs, come in and go, you are playing it wrong.
Oh,
and
man.
the lightning strikes behind them.
I mean, so we've started a new hardcore game.
Love it, by the way. Love Rhyme of the Frost. I don't know anything about the fucking book aside from like one encounter, and that's like a random roll encounter.
It's a
very high level monster that's on a very low level encounter table, and you go, you tap it and you go, hey, what's this doing here?
Is it a monster or is it a monster on a monster?
It's a monster.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Wait a minute.
I know what you're talking about then. Yeah. Rhyme of the Frostmaiden has 2 deadly encounters in their in the wild. Because I looked because you were like, there is an encounter where you're just like, what the fuck? So I will say in defense of those encounters, they happen, but it's not like they happen and they go, hey, dipshit, and then they start attacking. It's more of like, this is happening. And because you are so on the bottom of the totem pole, you're ignored, essentially. So it's just more of the way of the book is to be like, this is out here. fuckface. So get ready. You know.
Hey, dipshit.
Yeah.
Of course this thing is gonna be out here.
Yep.
Look where you're at.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, so every time I've fortunately braced myself and I've become less defensive of it in the comment section. I just kind of let people say whatever the fuck they said. Because I have tried my best to explain my points as succinctly as possible in the comment section, being like, hey, like, I see where you're coming from, but this is also like something that we've talked about with our players and this established system. This is what they want to play. This is what I want to play, yada, yada, yada. So it's not the wrong way to do it because it's something that we all want to do, you know, and I've tried to make that point. And I think I finally got a comment that was like, yeah, I read your pinned comment. I don't fucking care. This is the wrong way to do it. And you're just, so it got to the point where I'm just like, so I have one of two options. I have one of two options.
What a cunt.
Yeah, I have one of two options at this point. I could either keep stressing myself out trying to correct every fucking ignorant person out there, or I could let them be ignorant and let my chat handle it themselves. And so I've chosen the latter. I have seen some, because I read all the comments and I shouldn't be doing that. I've seen some particularly interesting takes on the way that I run games. The majority, of course, are of people who enjoy the games, who watch the shit. You know, YouTube had record-breaking view counts. So like,
right, baby.
and every time we stream it, you know, we've only done 2 streams of it. Every time we stream it, Twitch loves it, YouTube loves it. We get a lot of viewership. We get a lot of people enjoying it. It's only when a short comes out or the video comes out that a commenter who is not part of the community, community sphere, as it were, who can essentially be a keyboard warrior because they're all by their lonesomes, only then, that is when I start to see the comments that are like, why are you doing this? Don't do this. That's not right. Yeah. It's not how you run the game. And
it breaks the target audience.
Yeah, and the hardcore games very much break the target audience. So I you know, and I can see how far we're breaking, because I like to think that we're kind of like, for me, I have always said I am the indie creator of like the TTRPG scene. I'm not mainstream. I'm not a mainstream creator. I'm an indie creator. And I like that, you know. When it comes to like D&D creators or like hanging out with D&D creators, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm very much an outsider. I am not part of any. I'm not part of any core D&D circles. And I actually explained this on a stream earlier in the week, where the one thing that always kind of skeeves me a little bit with the D&D community, it feels very high school. There's a lot of like not tropes, but there's a lot of like clicks. There's so many clicks. Yeah. So you've got, I was
talking about that the other day too.
Yeah. So you've got like, you know, imagine the sun is Matt Mercer, right? And then so you've got Matt Mercer, and then you've got all of these planets who are other D&D creators who are also have made a name for themselves, who've also established themselves pretty well. And they essentially rotate around Matt Mercer. But then you've got this weird thing where, like, you've then got smaller creators who then rotate around these creators that rotates around Matt Mercer, that are moons. So essentially, it's just like this continuous breakdown of creators who are constantly trying to, like, talk up or impress or dab up or whatever the fuck you want to do. Creators. All
right, old man.
But you know what I'm saying, right? Whatever the fuck the term is now. Essentially, it's a lot of ass kissing about. Is all I'm saying. Is all I'm saying. To the point where you're like, is this a genuine friendship, or are you just, you know?
That's a very valid concern. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, because it's like I can see where there is a friendship. But also at the same time, I don't know. To me, and it's a very much an outsider looking in perspective. but it is very much like, oh, look at the people that I know. Look at all the things. Also, at the same time, can I just say this? And I really hope I don't piss anyone off when I say this, because I understand why it's done. But every time I
hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before you pop off on this, kid. Before you pop off on this.
Yeah.
I got somebody at my door, so give me just a second, because I really want to hear what you're about to say.
Yeah, go get your food. Hurry up. Hurry the fuck up. Just hurry the fuck up. It's that's that. Yeah, so that's essentially. We'll hold off. We'll hold off on that point. So. And also, keep in mind, like, there are other creators out there with, like, Mercer side. Like, when I talk about the sons, like, the son of the universe, you got the Mercer, you got the you know, Brennan Lee Mulligans, you got all that. You know, these are names that I know because they're always in front of me all the time. But yeah, I don't know. But that's also at the same time, this industry very much, you can never tell when someone is being genuine or when someone's using you to get ahead. Or when someone is using someone else to get, I don't know. That's all I'm saying. You know, that's all I'm fucking saying. So, but at the same time, like, for those that are inquiring about, like, my size and where I don't fucking care. My ultimate thing is I want to be able to do what I want to do, and I want to be able to get paid to do it, and I want to be able to make a living. That's it. That's all I care about. I am so beyond the point of being popular or wanting to be, because I also get it, right? Like, we all want to be praised for what we've done and our accomplishments and everything that we've built, yada yada yada. And there was a time where I would have enjoyed, like, the bigger side of things, but also at the same time, like, again, once we got into the publishing side of things and our Patreon took off and things like that, I stopped caring about audience sizes and shit like that. I like to celebrate the good points, absolutely, but no, I'm just here making a living, keep a roof over my head, maybe one day retire and not be like, where the fuck am I gonna make the money? That's all I care about. So absolutely. Do what you do. Do what you love. You don't need validation from strangers, I think, is the best thing I can say to that for anyone who's ever in a creative field or ever wants to do anything of the sort. You know, don't let validation be your pursuit, is ultimately what I'd like to say. And here's the Crown DM. Damn, I thought it came back. I was hoping I timed that out perfectly, and I didn't. I didn't time that out perfectly at all. Guys, I think the Crown DM should get a little what do you call it? Little dummy elevator. You know what I mean? Like a little, like, for, like, laundry and shit like that. And, you know, that's what I think. That's what I personally think. Is that you should get a little dumb waiter where you could then put the food and then have the food drop down, and that way he never has to leave his chair. And I think that would be a good idea if we just got as our next, like, Patreon goal. Actually, let's do that while we're waiting for Crown. Patreon.com/dumpsterdelvers. Thank you to everyone who's joined. We've had a few more people join. I think we're 1 or 2 away from our 20 goal. So we're trying to get 20 members in the $10 or $20 tier. And once we do, we will schedule a behind the dumpster video where I will consume a habanero pepper. We will consume a little habanero pepper. We'll get a little spicy, and we'll do it on cam.
America.
And yeah, so join our Patreon, patreon.com/dumpsterdelvers. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@dumpsterdelvers, please do me a favor and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscriptions, and we're gonna get the hours watch pretty well. So once we get that, we can apply for monetization and turn this hobby into a moneymaker. Hell yeah. Welcome back, Crown.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I decided I'm not going to say it. I changed my mind. It was an act of the moment. I probably would have said it, but then thinking about
it here.
Huh? What now?
I hate it here.
Yeah, me too. No, I'll say it. No, I'll say it.
Yes.
And again, I hope I'm not pissing anyone off by saying this. I also get why people do it, but I hate it. The D&D videos of D&D creators who put Matt fucking Mercer or Matthew Colville or Brennan Lee Mulligan or Jeannie D or any of the big creators in your thumbnail so that you get clicks. I fucking hate that shit. I fucking hate that shit. Something about that is just really like, ugh. And they're not in the video. Let's be clear about this. You're like, oh, whatever. You're just like, DMs hate this, and it's the creator like pointing to the side, and there's like Matt Mercer with his arms folded behind, and you just want to do it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, yeah, I'm sure it gets clicks. Yeah, I'm sure it fucking works. Yeah, whatever. But like, fucking try and pull people. Try pulling big, through what you create, not because fucking a big famous YouTuber's on the thumbnail. Like, don't do that. Ugh, I hate that shit. And if you do that and it's part of your strategy, I'm sorry for offending. But I personally hate that fucking shit. And it very much does feel like pandering at that point. And
oh, absolutely.
Fucking hate it. I hate it. And everything, oh my God, everything in this field is pandering to, it's so fucking dystopian, dude. I fucking hated this shit. Where it literally is like, what's your view count? Well, I guess I'm gonna kiss your ass now. Like, ugh, just fucking don't. Like, I understand, like, and I say this because for me, it doesn't matter what view count I have. I'm making a living. I've got a publishing house that is making books that people will support, and I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. I don't need to pander. I don't need to kiss someone's ass. I don't need to get the big view count. But at the same time, like, unfortunately, in this industry, no matter what you're doing, whether it be D&D, Twitch streaming, whatever the shit that you're doing, you have to pander because it's the only way, especially if you're a Twitch streamer, it's the only way that you can get your face out in front of a bigger audience and market. And that fucking sucks because because personalities and people are the business, you are now essentially taking advantage of relationships to get ahead, and that shit blows. Like, and that's why I'm saying, like, it's very difficult to see what is actually genuine in this industry, especially in the D&D space, where you're just like, are we friends or are you using me for something? You know what I mean? Like, it's I value the friendships and I want to build friendships. That's all I fucking care about. But it's not. I'm happy to be.
It takes a while to suss that out.
It does. It very much does, and that shit sucks, So yeah, that's what I feel, and also kind of why I feel a bit of an outsider in the D&D space, because a lot of the faces I see and a lot of people that I know, it feels kind of pandering to other bigger creators, and I'm just like, God, I really don't want that. I don't fucking want that shit. I just want to be genuine and make friendships, and that's it. That's all. That's all there is to it. And we talked about this, and we talked about this last week. I am very fortunate to be in a position where I could, if you are a shitty person with a big view count, I could care less about you. And yeah, it feels very good to say that. It really is a weight off my shoulders where you're like, damn it, like, I don't want to interact with this person, but I need to get my bills paid. Like, I'm very fortunate I don't have to make those kind of decisions. And also, yeah, nothing to really look too deep into, you know what I mean? To our audience, it's just more of just like, I just want to make a cool thing and have fun with it. And that's all I really care about, yeah, I like to make the cool thing. So that goes with the YouTube comments that we some of the YouTube comments we've been getting on like Rime of the Frost Maiden. Because I was also like, release the shorts as soon as possible. Let's get it all out. Let's clean house. You know, let's get them out of the woodwork. And it is plenty of people that are just like, that's why I rolled 46. You gotta roll for your shit. That's unfair.
I would never play at Brett's table. And it's like, dog, you weren't invited.
Yeah.
You worry over much.
Yeah, a lot of those comments very much felt like I was in their homes being like, let's play. And they're being like, no. I don't wanna. And I'm like, I didn't fucking invite you. I don't even know who you are, you know? And it's very interesting to me when we're doing a game or an event or doing like a specific style of play, right? That people would have to feel the need to be like, ew, no. And you're just like, motherfucker, hardcore's in the name, bro. What? Huh? What do you...
I could understand.
Yes.
I mean, this is like an extreme. I could understand if this was like, we all agreed to play a game.
Yes.
And then you came to us and you said, hey,
yeah,
by the way, hardcore game.
We're doing it this way. Yeah, exactly.
And we had all expected a different thing than what we were being given.
Exactly.
However, when we roll up to session 0 and you have Junie and I fucking rubbing our hands like sick freaks in the background.
Little sickos.
While Lobos, Tom, and Lawman are all getting their characters figured out.
Yep.
That should tell you that we know what the fuck we signed up for.
Look, like I said, what made it really easy for me is when I was like, maybe they don't understand that we're all in on this. Like, we all knew what we signed up for. We all knew what we were doing. Maybe it hasn't been expressed. But the moment I tried and someone was like, yeah, I read what you said. It's still garbage. It's still not the way you should do it. And you're like, then there's no helping you. Because so you mean to tell me that we're playing a game that we've all mutually agreed on with a rule set that we all mutually agreed on, and you still have a personal problem with it because it's not the way you would do it? Like, fuck off. Like, seriously, like, it all genuine. Like, I understand if we want to have like a conversation more about like the semantics of it and like having a meaningful discussion. But it's another thing to be a random individual who has to come in and literally say, ew, like, why would you do that?
I don't, like, they point at themselves, I don't like this.
I don't like that. I
bet you clicked on maybe 20 minutes of runtime between this video and decided you didn't like whatever rule you didn't like.
Yep.
Didn't watch the other 4 hours that were there. Closed out, left your comment. And then we're just hoping. Bated breath, waiting in your notifications box, hoping that the World of IO YouTube replied to your comment saying, gee willikers, I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much.
Please come run a game for us.
And if
we'll pay you.
And if there's something I can say about the D&D community is, like, there are a lot of people who come in with self-righteous attitudes that puff their chest and look around and be like, not today. And just like, this guy's bad and I'm good. If I was DMing, this is what I would do. Holds for applause, looks around, sees there is none, and it's just like, brother, like, good God.
Who are you white knighting right now?
Yeah, it's not me. Oh my God. And it is. It's same when I was kind of talking about Pathfinder those years ago, and I couldn't give an opinion without someone being like, you're wrong, and then saying, like, you know, you need to give Pathfinder a chance because it's your responsibility. Yeah, it was you, exactly. And I'm just like, if you want to play and now that we've run hardcore, I totally understand it. I totally see where people are coming from, where D&D players can kind of come off as little high and mighty. with people, and they come across as annoying to other TTRPG people because they're playing the greatest role-playing game. They're playing D&D. They're playing 5e. They can't be wrong. And for me, like, I've heard that argument, and I'm like, I've never really seen that. I don't know what you're talking about, but also if they are doing that, that's also wrong. Like, I'm not saying because you're a Pathfinder diehard, you're extra wrong. I'm just saying anyone who does this, I'm going to wag my finger at you. And it wasn't until the hardcore games and the shorts and all of that shit, and anytime I'm like, roll for your race or do this, and someone goes, roll for race, you know, and you're just like, Jesus fucking God. Yeah, there are definitely, and I can't believe it, there are definitely like die-hard D&D fans that are like, Wizards can do no wrong, like Wizards of the Coast can do no wrong. If you question something, you're being too picky about it. You know, oh, you're homebrewing. Pfft, you don't need a homebrew. And the homebrew you're doing is wrong. The way you're supposed to do it is the way it's in the book. And I'm like, motherfucker, if I do it the way it's in the book, we're all gonna be snoring at the end of the day. This shit is so fucking milquetoast. Because it is. It's like there's been some chatter about, hey, where's the SRD 5.2? Because it was supposed to be out weeks from the Monster Manual, and yes, you weren't specific on weeks, but like, where is it? And you have people who were like, the Monster Manual just came out. You gotta wait. You gotta be patient. You gotta let it breathe. You gotta give him a chance. And it's just like, motherfucker, this isn't an indie company. Like, this is literally...
Stop bullying the multi-billion-dollar company now!
Oh my fucking God, whenever people do that. It's like, look, I'm glad that you like the system, and I'm glad that you like the game, but like, people are fair to be critical of actions and things like that, and they're free to inquire, you know. And it's just like, you know, we've seen people who, if you're just like, yeah, the Bastion system is dumb, or I don't like the Weapon Mastery, that they just get out and they're just like, you know, like, you're wrong, you're stupid, you're dumb. And I'm just like, I'm glad you're a fan of the game and you're gonna fight it tooth and nail, but Jesus fucking Christ, you mean to tell me people cannot have an opinion about the system they want to play? You know?
No.
They can't have an opinion, they can't question, like, yeah, I play 5e. I literally had one person, I won't say their name, who was just, was losing their fucking mind.
I'll say it for you. They're...
No, whoa. Bleep
and
that
their
out.
IP...
Bleep that, bleep that out. Bleep all that out. Bleep all that out. But, you know, because I was like, maybe we move to a different system for phase 4. Maybe we make our own system, yada, yada, yada. And they were just pissed and livid, and they were like, people aren't going to like that. And I've already told you on the show, if you've got an issue and your defense, quite literally, is, well, we don't think that way, or there's people like me who don't, you know, and we all don't think you should do, and it's just like, no, you're not a representative for people, you know, you have the issue, you speak your concerns, not make up fictional people around you, because that's all it is. It could be true or it could not be, but the moment you go in and be like, yeah, a bunch of people feel this way, that's just like, And here's the funny thing about this, this person who was losing their fucking mind that, you know, Critical Role is making a huge mistake going into to their Dagger Heart series or whatever the fuck it's called, and moving on and doing all these things. They should have stuck with D&D, and they can do fine, but IO's so small that if they left if D&D, they changed D&D, it would just end this community as we know it, and blah, blah, blah. And I know a lot of people think this. So when I did the survey, I saw that response, and they were the only fucking response out of like 150, 200 people. And so it literally is, it's just like, guys, just because you have a feeling or that's the way you feel about it, doesn't make it a universal truth, okay? That's the best part of humanity. That's the best part of just this pot that we're in, right? Is that we could have these conversations, and we can have this talk. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, and that's not me being a D&D hateful person or anything like that. I'm the big sound mind that you play the game you want to play it. Play the game the way you want to play it. I don't care what you do to the game. I don't care what you... I lose my mind every time someone goes, why are you saying you're playing D&D when you haven't rolled a single dice this session? Not to us, but to like other people who are just like, you're not playing D&D if you're not using the system at every chance you get. And it's just like, why are you the police for this? Like, why does that...
sounds wrong.
How does that affect you is my thing. Okay, that's my big thing is how does this affect you in any way? No? Then why the fuck are you bitching and complaining about it? It's the same thing with the comments that are just like, you know, oh my God, you're doing 3d6 for stats. Oh my God, you're rolling for your raise. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. You're like, that's wrong. You can't do that. You shouldn't do it. It's like, how is this affecting you right now? Is it affecting you? Is it not affecting you? No? Then why? Why are you making this your issue? Why are you making this your thing? Why are you doing it? It's yeah, that's what I'm saying. The bottom line the big takeaway I have for any comment that's like that is this. Let people play the game they want to play it and stop judging so fucking hard on something that doesn't even involve you.
Allow me to translate, chat. Fuck you, is what he said.
I didn't say that. I still would love to educate. I still would love to see if there's a glimpse of hope. There is too much shit in the world for you to be worried about someone else. Is my big thing.
Hey, dog, look inward.
Yeah.
Worry about your
Take
own.
care of your own self.
Yours. I'm sure you've got somebody in your life who would love the amount of attention that you give to problems that don't fucking matter to you, and give that attention to them. I'm sure they would love that. So maybe start locking in, brother. Yeah. Your family needs you.
And that's it. Like, I'm not defending the hardcore system. Like, it is beyond it. Like, it is not a system that should work. And it's literally doesn't have a lot of checks and balances. And if you fuck it up, your character's fucked. And that's just kind of the beautiful appeal to me personally is we've removed the safety railings. You could make a character that is just hot garbage because the dice said, fuck you. You know,
dude,
I like that. And old TTRPGs were like that, where you're just like, oh, guess you just got a shitty character. Make do with it. You know, and it's fine. And it is every fucking time I'm still getting comments in Lost Minds. I'm still getting comments about Curse of Strahd who look at whatever shitty character Junie rolled up and goes, they're dead session 1. And I'm like, wrong, motherfucker. They're still alive.
Longest lived running characters.
It's just
Tommy and Rag both.
If there is anything 5e should teach you is the stats don't fucking matter. You're talking anywhere from a 5 to 20% differential. That's it. Okay. And I don't know how many times maybe that's why you don't like hardcore. Maybe it's the fact that hardcore is quite literally showing you how fake and made up 5e is as a system. Okay.
Ooh, you know? Oh shit, actually.
It's all I'm saying.
Oh my God.
I'm fucking saying. Because every time like someone has a character that has rolled higher than 11, that I gotta see, well, if they don't have higher than 11, they need to re-roll their stats. Or, you know, you need to give someone a free 15. And I'm like, motherfucker, no. Absolutely not. What are you talking about? What the fuck? The rogue changes I've made. I've seen, no one's given me too much shit about it, but you know, people are like, rogue is the weakest martial class, and you nerfed them further. I'm like, okay, how did I nerf them? I removed the range attack, and even then I said you need to be stealthed. You need to be hidden. You actually need to make an effort to do the sneak shot.
Correct.
You need to be sneaking for sneak attack, okay? And then for melee, the only change was you have to be flanking. You can't just have a 5-foot adjacent. Like, that's it. And any adjustment you make like that, or slight adjustment or slight turn to make things a little bit more difficult, people will come out of the woodwork and say it is the most unfair ruling ever. And you're just like, dude, it's fine. It's gonna be okay.
It's brother, I can assure you, it's not that serious.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not. It's really not that serious. It's not that bad. It's okay. It's fine. Don't fucking worry your little head about it. All right. And it is. It's incredible. It's incredible to me. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, all hardcore has shown to me is that the system that we run has very little consequence. The actions that have happened. And yeah, like, you know, if you make things slightly harder because they have a plus, you have a -1 instead of a +2, that's a 15% differential. That's all that is. If you're like, okay, I'm now gonna have to make a check. Now, if I had a 15, it'd be a +2, but I got an 8, so it's a -1, and that fucking sucks. And you're like, 15%. That's all that is. That's all.
Start looking at everything in 5% intervals and your life will change.
That's it. That's all it is. Like, dude, it's fine. It'll be okay. And it is. It's like, you know, things are a little dicey. Like, oh my God, but first, second level, things are really fucking dicey. And it's just like, motherfucker, it doesn't matter. You could have 18s across the board. It's going to be fucking dicey from first to second level. That's the system that was built. That's how it was built. And as someone who's run 2 hardcore games right now, once you guys get to level 5, you're in the clear. You can never die. I mean, seriously.
That's okay. So that's my big thing.
Yeah.
And I've been trying so hard.
Yeah.
In my own games to tell players, hey, first things first. 1, it doesn't matter how good your character is.
Yeah.
2, it doesn't matter how good your plan is. 3, it doesn't matter how much you talk or how much you plan or what have you above board. We are playing a game of chance.
Yep.
You roll a funny rock and the rock goes natural 1. And that has consequences.
Yep.
Doesn't matter how good your plan, character, or whatever. We play a game of chance. Your character can die because you couldn't roll over a 5 the entire night.
Yep.
You could have 25s in every stat, but that doesn't mean shit if you can't roll above a 5.
Yep.
Second, when you come and play games, do not make a character that is front-loaded with backstory. Let the world affect you.
Yeah.
Let the world give you a backstory first. Let the world change you and alter you or what have you. If you come in with an ending to your story already, go write a fucking book.
That's true, honestly.
You're not going to you are going to be so frustrated with me trying to alter your character by the actions of the world that you are not going to have fun at the table.
I've had players who were upset with me because they were like, this was going to be the arc where my character was going to turn and do this. And I literally had to respond, this is not a movie. This isn't. It's the beauty of TTRPGs is that the world is going to go on without you. And if you decide to not be an active participant of it, it will move on without you. But also, as these events transpire, that is what your character, that is how your character should be shaping up. If you are coming into a game with exactly what you said, with an ending already determined for your character, I am of the mindset that you are not playing the game correctly.
Correct.
I think the beauty of TTRPGs and role-playing and all of that shit is you can come in with a background. You can come in with how that background has shaped you and where you are today. You cannot come in with your future already determined and written. You just can't. And the sooner that you, it is, because I think a lot of the times as well, especially with some shows, I won't point fingers, it is sort of looked at as this like acting exercise of the theater. where things are scripted or a little more written and shit like that. And so I do feel like sometimes people will look at that and be like, well, that is how D&D shows are supposed to run. And I'm like, I don't know if that is the case, but that's not how I do my shit. Absolutely not. Your character, you're an empty canvas right now. Your book is 2 chapters in, and the rest of it's fucking blank. And yeah, the beauty of it is you get to write that story out based on the events that are around you. That's what makes this so fun. That's what makes D&D and TTRPGs so fun, is that if I were playing a game, I don't know what was going to happen to my character. I can't. I don't know what's going to happen to me. God damn it. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen to me tomorrow, But if I came in with it already written, you'd think I was a crazy person. You kind of have to treat your characters in TTRPGs and D&D and all that stuff like that. Is just, yeah.
Ooh. You wanna get a backstory? Survive to level 5. Survive to level 5.
Still being written.
Guess what? Yeah, you want a backstory, dog? Survive to level 5, because I can tell you right now, Gorgod, the half devil, half angel who fell from heaven, betrayed by his father, is a level 1 fighter, is gonna die to the goblin before you get any chance to explore that character.
And we have read plenty of horror stories of where, someone is planning this huge elaborate thing out, and a DM has to sigh and go, okay, but like, this doesn't align with the character creation rules. You're also only level 2, so
it doesn't fit in my setting.
It's not fit in my setting. All that shit. Oh my god, all that shit. And it is. It's just like, there's actually some interesting horror stories that we're gonna be reading today that I think is gonna spark some actual like conversation where you're just like, I don't know if that is a horror story, or I don't know, I kind of see where that other side's coming from. Definitely a lot for some good dialogue. So yeah, at the end of the day, TTRPGs are nuanced, it's fun. I think the big thing is just keep communication open, establish boundaries, draw your lines in the sand early and often, so people are aware of how you're running it, how the game is, and also gives a player to be like, ooh, no thanks. Actually, you know what? This ain't my bag. And that's fine too.
Actually, I found out I don't like this. And you go, oh, understandable.
Yeah, that's totally cool. And that's what it is. So every time we get a comment that's like, you're making characters wrong. What do you mean you're not doing it this way? You're supposed to do it this. And it's like, no, you're looking at the rules as like a hard set. Like, this is what it has to be. You can run D&D or any TTRPG any fucking way that you want. And as long as everyone is on board, thumbs up, then we're good. It's all good. It's all gravy, baby. Like, that's it. I literally, I won't drop names. I literally had like a designer on my Twitter feed who were very much in the sense of like, young kids today, want to play their games safe, whatever that means. But, games should be, TTRPG games should be challenging and scary and death should always be on the table, and that's how you should play it. And if you're not, you're doing it wrong. And I had to be like, okay, like, I get what you're saying, and I am also looking for a bit of a challenging thing, but that is incorrect. That is an incorrect opinion. The correct, the moment you come in to a conversation and say, this is how you should play this game. No, wrong, incorrect. Mind your own fucking business. You and your table play the TTRPG of your choice any way you fucking want to. And if that also means like your players want to play with a little more with rails, or wants to play with a little more safety railing, or wants to minimize the chance of death because really they don't want to play a serious game where death is always on the table. You know what I mean? play it the way you want to play it. You know, is it a style that I want to play? Probably not. But also at the same time, I'm not on your fucking table. So please play it the way you want to play it. I will never tell you to play. My example is we've got a series of hardcore games, right? We've got a series of hardcore games that we do and play and all that stuff with unfair rules that could totally just break a character and make it so that you're constantly at the risk of danger or death, right? But also at the same time, I played a fishing campaign. I ran a fishing campaign with a slice of life. Both games were really fucking fun.
Yep.
And there's no wrong way to do it. As long as you're having fun, you communicated what you want to run to your players in an effective manner. Hey, I don't care if you make a game about farming and everything's a fucking farm check and you want to play Stardew Valley, only the farming portion as a TTRPG. If everyone at the table's like, let's fucking do it, then have fun. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Because at the end of the day, this is a game and everyone should be having fun. And I think people need to stop taking it so fucking seriously sometimes.
I literally had the last session of my 5th edition game was the party coming back to a festival that was happening. Like they had been like, I've been hyping this festival up since like the game started. Like, hey, by the way, in like a month's time in game, the Falls Reaping Festival is going to happen. It's a really big thing for the town that you're all from. You all grew up there. You've celebrated this before. And they're like, we got to get back there. We got to get home now. And we get back. And the session is literally the party doing like mini game challenges of like rolling dice to like cut tobacco leaves and stuff like that.
That's
and I remember the players are fucking cheering when their favorite NPC like beat another NPC.
Yeah.
You can play whatever the fuck you want. Do whatever you want. Well, not okay. Within reason.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, if it's, you know what, if your table's cool with it, fucking go for it.
Yeah. You want to role play outhouse shitty? Table's like, yeah, push that turn.
Dude, I had somebody that was like, every time I make a map for a dungeon or for a city,
my god, where's the toilet? Where's the bathroom?
There's always one who's like, where's the toilet? And I'm like, dude, I don't want to know how your character shits, man. Yeah, man, my world has sewers, it has toilets, it has all that stuff. Am I gonna purposefully put it on the map? One time, and it's because it had a slime in it and it attacked the party. That was it. That was the only time a toilet has ever appeared in my fucking game.
Like, yeah, hey, is this area up to code? I don't think you have enough lights here. You're like, oh my god, dude, it's not city planning, okay? We're just playing a fucking game. Get off my back! Get off my back!
Leave me alone!
Fucking leave me alone! Yeah, it is. It just cracks me up. Where's the toilet? Why do all these NPCs look the same? You're like, motherfucker, I'm not Bethesda, okay?
Oh my god, dude.
Like,
I thought it was funny, but I've been through very much the same situation as Paw Patrol, where the party rolls into a place and they're like, "Boy, sure is empty here."
You're like,
and it's like, dude, what the fuck you want from me, man? You want me to have 90 NPCs in this fucking place for you to interact with? Fucking talk to the guy who's going to give you your quest and leave.
Let's fucking move on. Stop Bethesda, goddammit. I'm not doing Elder Scrolls 6 over here. You got to give me a little bit of wiggle room, goddammit. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. The last Paw Patrol short that came out was one of my favorite ones. This Naomi's character hasn't mined before.
Oh my god, dude. Jace being like, oh, menial labor's beneath me.
That's so fucking good. Oh my god. And then I just like, oh, you got a little dirt in your paws. Like, ugh, disgusting.
Oh, that one goose throws the pickaxe away. So I was like, oh my god, he's some like actual like posh piece of shit that we're traveling with. And then he sneezed and immediately was back to normal.
Yeah, Bloody's just like our little prince. And I'm just like, oh my god, so fucking good. But yeah, needless to say, on the positive side of things, you and I seem very excited about Icewind Dale.
Oh my god, dude. Chat might not know this. But the moment like Rime of the Frost Maiden had ended, and I sat back and I thought about everything that had transpired in just one session.
Yep.
I immediately sat back up after like an hour, and I went to the group chat and I went, guys, what if we play again this week?
Did we play again this week? I'm like, no.
And Brett immediately like pushed me aside, and he's like, hold on.
What's a week? You gotta be excited about it. You gotta enjoy it, you know? Gotta age a little bit, you know? This will be fun. Yeah, I think next session will also be fun with the town you're going. I kind of like this 10-town system where, like, depending on the town that you guys start at, it's just funny that you guys literally chose like the boony town of 10
middle
towns.
Of bumfuck nowhere.
It is the westernmost 10 town, and there's literally has a snow-covered path to get to the next town. Like, you have to cross the snow to get there. Yeah.
So
It cracked me up, and I was like, oh, maybe we should have a bit more like rewards here, or like, I was like, no, I actually really do like the idea of session 1 sort of being this, like, we get to meet the people. You know, there isn't a lot of distractions happening here. There's a fun event that we get to do with the lake fishing, and then that's perfect. Session 1 doesn't now overstay. It doesn't throw you in.
Oh yeah, we went there for like 4 fucking sessions.
Yeah, it's just like you kind of have an understanding of the 10 towns. Oh, by the way, I got like several people saying this, and no one was rude or mean about it, but I also had to be like, hey guys, relax, it's fine. I take personal liberties with the pre-made campaign stories. I got a lot of shit because apparently Icewind Dale is supposed to be in an eternal night because of the Frost Maiden's rhyme. It's supposed to be like this always night all the
Oh, is it perpetually night?
I'm not doing it that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm not doing it that way. I we was like, so what time of day? It's like, oh, you see a little bit of the sun. It's definitely heavy overcast, but you can still kind of see what's going. And nighttime is even more perilous because of how cold it gets. But I got several people that were like, oh, but in the game it's supposed to be this or blah, blah, blah. And just so people are aware, I tend to run the games differently, essentially. You know what I mean? I tend to run the story so that there's still some twists and turns at the end of it. And also I feel like I can kind of like really make something out of it. You know what I mean? Like we talked about Curse of Strahd and how that ended, where essentially, spoilers, when what's her face? It's out of my brain already.
Jesus.
I know. I'm sorry. Fucking,
which what's her face? We have several.
Irina, right? Is that her name?
Irina, the
yes,
woman
Irina.
we have been escorting from Barovia.
I forgot her name. My brain has only so much capacity. Where Irina goes to the lake, and then there's Strahd's brother, and she goes, "Oh, that's right, I'm his wife, my beloved," and then sinks away in the sand. Like, no, we're gonna take some personal liberties. We're gonna ham it up. There's gonna be some show elements, so when shit happens, you feel the impact of that. You know what I mean? So kind of the same with Rime of the Frost Maiden. We're gonna take a couple of personal liberties and see what's what's up with that and what we're doing with that and all that fun shit. And so yeah, for those that have been asking, like, well, wait a minute, why isn't it like this? I can't answer. There are you must see, watch and see because it is like, nice. we kind of want to put a couple of little curveballs there, so that way if you already know the campaign, maybe you don't know the campaign, maybe now we're running in a different way, so we can tell a different story. I don't want to tell the story the way it's always been told, you know what I mean? Like, I want to keep everyone on their feet. That's kind of the fun part about it.
I think the other reason I like Rime of the Frost Maiden so much is I don't know shit about it.
Yeah, I
literally only know the one encounter that's like the random encounter thing. I literally don't know anything else about Rime of the Frost Maiden aside from like the bad guy.
It goes crazy. It goes a little wild. It'll be fun.
I think it's ignorance that has like made me super, because of Curse of Strahd. And the times that I got the most excited is when it was like, hey, guess what? You're fighting a boss I made. And I went, oh,
new thing.
Oh, new thing, not content I know. Ooh.
New thing. Yeah, I mean that's essentially it. And so I do kind of like the structure of Ryman the Frost Maiden, because the beginning of it is very much just like, you're in 10 towns. Do your thing, you know,
figure it out, pushy.
A little. So yes and no. So a lot of it is very much just like, you're in 10 towns, explore the towns, hear the rumors, find out things that are going on, learn a bit about these towns, and it's nice because you haven't been thrown into this quest, essentially. You know what I mean? You haven't just been thrown in this thing where you're like, here's your clear objective, you got to do it now. That's how we advance. Blah blah. Instead, it's really nice to begin with like, hey, you're trying to make a name for yourselves. You're broke as fuck, you know, and you're in an eternal winter land. How the hell are you gonna survive?
You are poor.
Yep.
You have no money, no bitches.
That's why I thought it was funny that Fishing Quest was like, yeah, you can sell the knucklehead trouts for 5 copper. And I'm like, oh yeah, they'll definitely do that. I say, knowing that's definitely not gonna happen.
The moment you were like, that's about 100 pounds worth of fish,
Yep.
I will kill that man before I give him 100 pounds worth of fish.
That was, yeah. So that, like, one of the big things that I was researching, there's Reddit posts about like, how much are knucklehead trouts actually worth? Because and someone's like, oh yeah, well, so-and-so's gonna get her 5 copper. It's like, no. That was some dude that was looking for other people to fish that they're paying for 5 copper. And the whole point of that story is the people he recruited didn't show up because he was offering too little money.
Makes sense. Honestly?
Yes.
Fuck him.
Which is why when you came and he didn't even know who was coming, he was like, yeah, get in the boat and start fishing. You know, it's just like, yeah, that's... So I'm glad you guys kind of picked up on like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. You want me to give you how big of a fish for how little? Yeah, and so I was like, okay, so where's the actual reward this town? And the reward was the fucking research person giving you 5 gold pieces.
Tally handing us 5 gold. Honestly, the relic was the actual reward.
I added that. I had to add that because otherwise, you know, my big fear was you were gonna be presented with these options and look at each other and go, guys, why are we here right now? Like, five
don't
gold.
want to be here.
You want 5 gold and 5? These are our only options. We gotta go someplace else. And then there would have been a fucking session. So I was like, now let's, you know, we got relics. Let's toss the relic in so it's at least a little more enticing and it makes sense because it'd be worthless to Tally but very worth to you guys. So like, yeah, let's fucking make that shit happen.
Nice.
Yeah, so it worked out. It worked out very well. And then we got to see the relic system in action, which I know people seem excited about, and I haven't really seen too many mixed responses about it. Yeah, the only shit I'm getting is how characters are created, and you're just like,
yeah, I haven't seen, because I also read. I'm also a nosy bitch. Whenever a new short comes out, I'm fucking... Not only am I nosy, I'm also incredibly vain.
Yeah.
If you say nice things about me in the YouTube comments, I'm there and I will upvote your comment.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But every time a new short comes out, I'll go read it. I'll watch it because usually it's funny as fuck.
Yep.
The peanut one and the meeting the Dretches still my favorite fucking rock. Stone.
So good.
Tree. I fucking
good.
Easily my
so good. So fucking
I love
good.
them so much. I love them. So that's like my blorbo. That's like my comfort character of Io is the Dretch that goes stone.
Yes. So yeah, Crown will upvote anything positive you say about him, and then I'll downvote it just so that it's balanced.
Nice, it all evens out. You'll only see my upvote though. They don't show downvotes anymore.
Yeah, they don't show down. Yes, that's it. So like you think it's upvoted, but actually it's been downvoted to hell. You just don't know it, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very good. You know, me and my 20 accounts. I control the narrative. God damn it.
Me! Lightning strike.
Nah, I let people say stupid shit. I don't even remove the comments anymore. I'm just like, say your stupid thing. Because here's 10 people about to come behind me and be like, you are a fucking moron.
Shut up, you idiot!
Yeah.
Lightning strike.
And I'm just like, yeah, that's right. It's the internet. And then anytime that happens, it's more engagement. So, okay, yeah, just let them fight it out. And
in fact, spit your shit.
yeah, preach. Just understand that if you came in with a hot take and people find out, it's not really that hot of a take. Just
very tepid take, actually.
Just be aware of what the hell's happening there. Oh my god. So let us really quick. I think there was. Actually. Wait, didn't. Oh yeah, I already. Damn it. Yeah, we already answered Laura's topic before. But honestly, Project Sigil news. Laura wants to know about Project Sigil news. We're doing viewer topics now.
What the fuck is Project Sigil?
Project Sigil was like a spin-off of the D&D 3D VTT they were working on. The one that I said no one's going to be interested. Well, apparently no one was interested. Well, apparently now D&D is
the
not
one they
interested.
gave up on?
Yeah. And then fired 90% of their VTT design crew.
Yeah, because they're fucking dumbasses.
It's just like, someone said, I've tried Project Sigil and I think I know why D&D scrapping its virtual tabletop, which is hilarious to me. I mean, I had no hope for this VTT. I did not. I had zero faith that this was going to do well. Because when I went to the summit and tried their VTT, the only thing that was really working was like what they showed in the trailer, which I think was like an ink egg like emerging from the ground, which looked really fucking cool. But like, that's all they did as far as the what looked good department. So when we did the summit, they're like, and then the ink egg came out. I was like, all right, I fucking saw this shit already. And I even asked the question, like, so whenever I had the opportunity to summit, my annoying thing I would ask would either be about safety tools for session 0, because we've seen a lot of DMs get canceled for being pieces of shit, and I'd like it to be an educational tool, so we maybe see less of that. And what are you offering to third party? Like, what support are you offering to third party? Because I am a big believer, as you all know, I think third party is what keeps D&D alive. And the only people that don't seem to fucking realize that is Wizards of the Coast. When they get too high and mighty for the britches and start making a shit ton of money. So for the virtual tabletop, I asked, okay, what third-party support are we going to see? Are people going to be able to like upload their models or be able to like make a custom mechanic thing? Or like, will there be like a marketplace? Because I was of the mindset of like, I think this virtual tabletop should have a marketplace. I think that you should let people create their 3D models, allow you to post in the marketplace. You can even have a filtration process or whatever, and they could sell it on the marketplace. You keep 30%. It's a win-win. It works. It's money in your pocket.
Roll20's already proven that you can do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, Foundry's proven that you can fucking do that. So I'm literal proof you can do that. I don't think I can go over contract terms, but you know, whenever you buy my VTT, Why Slay Dragons Be Fishing, not sponsored by the way. Whenever you buy my Foundry module, like Foundry gets a little bit of that profit. And when I say a little bit, I mean a little. It's a small fucking number. Like I was very impressed with how Foundry does their breakdown of like, if anyone, essentially it's two versions, right? It's the first version is, okay, are you hosting the module yourself? If so, you know, we'll take this amount out of the sales price. Are we hosting the module? We'll then take this amount out of that. And so it works out. But even then, like what they take out is significantly small, because the standard rate nowadays is like for like a marketplace host like Steam or Drive-Thru-RPG or any of this shit is, you know, any sale you get 70%, they keep 30%. That's the standard rate when it comes to like these marketplaces. Foundry, Well, okay, so the way Foundry does it when I sell a key, is they take way less out of that. But I do think, because we're actually gonna be on the new Foundry marketplace with Why Slay Dragons. I just have to remember to sign the contract because I keep fucking forgetting. Yeah, but I think they're also 70/30. I think so. I mean, it's just that's the standard rate. But yeah, Foundry itself. If I sell like Foundry keys, they take us. It's just a flat rate. It's just super fucking cheap. So it's so. Anyways, the key thing I was saying is D&D could have totally done the same thing. In fact, I don't know why D&D Beyond isn't doing something like that, where they're like, yeah, you could sell your digital content if it goes through our approval process. You could sell it on D&D Beyond, and if someone buys it, we take 30%. Like that. Totally get it. Totally makes sense. They could have done the same thing with their stupid VTT. The response I got, because I was like, oh, what are you doing with this? And I even said, like, you do like a marketplace, you can sell your shit like this, blah, 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 blah. You know, the half-ass response I got, and no slight to the developer, because they seemed really passionate about the project. I feel genuinely bad with this turnout. Is, you know, like, oh, well, we don't want to do that because, like, have you ever seen like Tabletop Simulator and gone on to their Steam Workshop page, and it's just like a lot of just low quality stuff? We don't want that. You know, we want high quality stuff only, and the only way we can ensure that is if we're the only ones doing the shit. Essentially the same playbook we've heard time and time again from Wizards whenever you ask them, hey, so how about we get people in on this? Like, let's get third party in on this. Like, what do you think? We always get the same response of like, oh yeah, it's too complicated, or there's no quality control, and blah, blah, blah. And ultimately at the end of the day it's my money and I want to keep all of it, god damn it. And it's just the Wizards playbook.
It belongs in my hands.
So yeah, the moment they essentially said there wasn't going to be third-party support for their 3D virtual tabletop, and essentially everything was just going to be connected through D&D Beyond, I was like, oh, pass. No one's going to be interested in this.
No, thank you.
You mean to tell me this only supports first-party content? No. Like, when will these people learn that what makes a TTRPG interesting, and what brings in talent to the TTRPG is when you have a robust support system that allows you to make the thing and then run your own custom thing. It makes you feel like you are a part of that thing, and if someone feels like they are a part of it, they will be more than happy to support it because it's them. It's a part of them. And I've said this before, Wizards has been taking this new path where they don't want to offer third-party support. They want a first party only. They're tired of this, and you could just say left and right, oh yeah, well, they're putting in third-party books on D&D Beyond. Yeah, but this D&D Beyond, that's marketplace shit, you know. And
correct,
they just it's very sad. It's very disappointing. I don't know. I know why they're doing it, but it really just goes to show how separate and split it's gonna become when it's like you can't even make your own shit anymore. You could reskin, but that's not making your own shit. You're not motivating. You're not essentially creating new game designers. You know. Yeah.
That's sad to me. We don't trust you to make the monsters.
Oh no,
so no rules for that.
When you give me 3 different excuses in the same fucking paragraph, I'm like, yeah, I understand. Papa Wizards is just like, no, we can't let them see the secret sauce. They gotta buy the toys from us, you know. And 5e's gonna fail because of it, and that's just all there is to it. And Wizards gonna go, damn, I guess it's time for 6e. And then, you know, I'll step in and make the Pathfinder a 5e, and then we'll be good to go. It'll be great. That's the plan. That's the plan right there. Is we're just gonna we're gonna 5e. It
all works out, baby.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the day that they're gonna ban 5e. I can't wait personally. Right now, what I'm waiting for, and we're gonna see this weekend. I'm hoping there's gonna be an announcement for the new SRD. Because it's been more than a month now. Motherfucker said weeks. And our creator mailer said that it was going to be done by the end of February. So I'm hoping, because Gary Con's happening this week, that D&D is going to announce the SRD or the plans for the new SRD, because if they don't, I'm going to start screaming and yelling and shitting my pants on social media until someone goes, man, fuck these guys, you know? And so I'm hoping that I overreacted before and now they're going to do it or announce it. Just an announcement. I'm okay even if they're literally just like, if they're like, we're still working on it, but we need more time. Like, okay, I don't like when Wizards doesn't say anything, because to me personally, right, it's just them avoiding the question because of the OGL debacle of 2023. And they just didn't want to respond for like 10 days, and everyone was just losing their fucking shit. It was like, oh, this is how you handle a crisis. You ignore it, hope it goes away. Yeah, until you, and then if you do have to respond, cave hard. Like that is Wizards. That's Wizards MO.
Anything they want to hear.
Yeah, that's Wizards MO. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping for, like I said, we can still work with the old SRD, but it just, if the SRD 5.2 is forgot, I don't think it is, because one of the community managers did mention in a forum post that it is being worked on. It hasn't had an official announcement as it is. You know what I mean? There hasn't actually been like an official big announcement. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping this weekend we'll see an SRD announcement because it's Scary Con and they're going to use that as a way to go about it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If not, it doesn't matter. You got it in the Creative Commons. It's over. You don't have a say anymore, you know, of what can and can't be released in third party. And I feel pretty confident I can build whatever the hell they want. So it's making it equivalent, if not better, comparison. And maybe that's ego talking, but I feel confident in my skills as a homebrew / third party publisher.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
And I get fucking pissed and angry whenever they're doing stupid shit like that. So yeah, that's the Project Sigil news, which was, you know, surprise, that VTT failed. It never came out, or I guess Project Sigil is the VTT. I don't actually know what Project Sigil is. I know it is like the 3D equivalent that they were kind of advertising as a tool for building bastions, I guess. But so to me, it just sounded like they were cutting down the 3D VTT. And even when they finally released it, they went, okay, we're done. The VTT's dead. Like, it's just going to be this. So to me, it sounded like a lot of work wasn't done to begin with. And then they just laid off 90% of that team. So it's
awesome.
It's a Wizards playbook. I don't know what to tell you. I wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm not. So there you go. Another viewer topic for you is... Okay, here's a good one. So, Crown, what media has influenced or inspired you and your games the most?
It's probably best you answer that first.
Okay, well,
we'll be here for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you have to pick like one. Like, what's your top one?
One?
Yeah, top one.
Darkest Dungeon.
Darkest Dungeon. I was like, either Darkest Dungeon or Souls for you, right. I'd imagine.
Well, so here's the thing. I would have said Souls, but the Souls generally comes from like, I gained like monster inspiration from the Souls series. I gained like story ideas from the Souls series. NPCs, stuff like that. But it's Darkest Dungeon that is basically like the backbone, like the main skeleton of which I build everything else.
That makes sense.
I have a stress system. I have a death's door system. I build items that are basically 1-for-1 with what Red Hook built for Darkest Dungeon 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like, if it's going to be anything, it's going to be Darkest Dungeon. I'm sure my players were shaking in their boots when I went, guys, I finished the 2nd edition stress system now. So guess
like,
what?
Damn it!
Next time we play, you got stress now. And they're like, fuck!
One of these days, I'm gonna win the hearts of Red Hook and be like, please let me work on a TTRPG system in your IP. And they're gonna be like, okay. And then I'm gonna go to you and be like, it's time. And then I'm gonna sit you down and be like, get to writing. Get to writing.
Oh.
Get to building.
I do it for free.
I man, if you're willing to do something for free and get paid for it, I just feel like that's a winning combination. Personally, I just feel like that's winning all around. For me, it's Final Fantasy. It has always been Final Fantasy. It has. There's no other. I don't think there is any other answer. I think it's Final Fantasy. And Final Fantasy 14 definitely modeled more of like the phase combat and more raid mechanics of some of the boss fights that we have. And I've been thinking of some new like raid mechanics that I want to do specifically for like the final fight in phase 3. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be bullshit. And I'm going to be really happy doing it. So, but yeah, just that epic high fantasy JRPG, Final Fantasy, like any of them, all of them.
Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't seen a limit break in your series.
I think limit breaks are overdone, personally. That's probably why.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a limit break in any game.
Yeah. Well, Okay, so I have a bias with limit breaks, specifically because of my era. I used to be in like the RPG making scene with the engine RPG Maker. And everyone wanted to do a limit break. Everyone wanted to use Final Fantasy music and assets and things like that. So you were kind of taught to sort of like, don't do one for one. Like, kind of think outside the box. Do something a little bit more creative. Don't use shit that everyone has done. And so when it comes to like Final Fantasy, you know, only sometimes I'll do Final Fantasy tracks here or there. But to me, it feels like a crutch if you do that. So that's why I haven't implemented like a limit break system and things like that. And also, like, I mean, I've thought about it. Don't get me wrong. I've definitely like thought about it. I just haven't gotten it to a point where it would feel unique enough without it just being like, oh, this is a limit break system. You know what I mean? I don't want to do just a limit break system. It would have to be something. It'd have to be something of my own that is neat and unique feeling, and not just like limit break. You know, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the limit break system. I just think it's a crutch. It's an easy go-to, and I'm not a big fan of doing it easy, essentially.
Okay.
So
that's fair, I guess.
Yeah. Chat, if you'd like to ask your topics and have us talk about it, be sure to subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/dumpster delvers. You'll get access to our Patreon exclusive Discord, access to our Behind the Dumpster show that we do, which is exclusively like the post show for Patreon. We've got other things coming on. If you are part of Grandma's Garage Sale, we will give you a shout out during the podcast, and you'll actually get to participate in an AMA, which we just answer your question that you have for the month. It won't be something we discuss on the podcast. It's just something that you get to do there, and yeah. So make sure you guys support patreon.com/dumpster delvers, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@dumpsterdelvers. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscriptions, so make sure you guys check it out. Absolutely. And thank you so much for your support. All right, I gotta write that down. Because I like to remove the podcast ad reads for the.
You're gonna love me the first like 20 minutes of this. I didn't have your audio channel muted.
Oh, so. You're fine. No, I think we're good. No, I haven't been using your videos.
Oh.
Yeah, I figured out a way to do it.
I sit back. I'm now offended.
Yeah, they stink, and I fucking hate it. It's just I record. Yeah, I'm trying to, because I've got everything that I'm doing with like the games and stuff like that. So I have to get really efficient with the Dumpster Delver podcast. So I figured out a way to do that, you know. And I think I got it. I think I got it hammered and figured out really well. So, yeah. Now I'm excited to talk about our next topic. Well, not topic per se, but actually our next segment. Because we got some real good D&D and TTRPG horror stories from the Reddit. We've got some real good ones that you know what? For fun, I'll let you pick the story. I've got 4 for you. Okay.
All right, hold on.
What's
Oh,
up?
wait, you're going to tell me the titles and I pick that way?
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah,
I put
yeah.
my dice away.
I mean, it's 4 stories. You can still roll a 1d4 if you want to do it. If you decide all of them. So, and what we don't read, we'll read for the postcast. So, all right, here it is. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. The stories are Nah, I'ma Stay. That's the first title.
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna stay. Like, I'ma stay.
Uh-huh.
Nah, I'm gonna stay. Second one is the DM of patently unfair house rulings.
Okay.
And this is why I'm saying, like, some of these feel like attacks against us. The house ruling
Very
ones
interesting.
feels very like poignant and stung towards me because of all the shit I've been getting with house rule character creations for hardcore. Third story is DM thinks it's fun if players die. That's an attack on both of us.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well,
that's an attack on both of us because
I need to go read that Reddit name and see which one of my players is writing messages about me.
And the fourth one is cheating cleric gets called out, rage quits.
I pushed that one away.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. I know which ones you're looking at. You're looking at the first 2 ones.
Yeah, tell me about the death one. I want to hear about the death one.
You want to know? You want to make sure that someone's
I
not
want to
calling
make
you
sure it's
out.
not one of my players. I will be in your DMs if I know who fucking writ this.
Holy shit, I would love it. This is a top story. This isn't someone like bitchy that I randomly found it. Like, this is like a top story of the week. So that would be hilarious if that was the case. I'm hoping it is. I think that's going to make for great content, personally. Absolutely. Ugh, I said that out loud. That feels scummy and gross. Ew. All right, here we go. DM thinks it's fun if players die. This is not a super bad story. I was honestly just disappointed. The DM told me he's been DMing for 20 years. I expected more. I had a test one-shot in a new group. DM doesn't want to play 5e. We're playing first edition as far as I can tell. Okay.
Okay.
The DM hands out some pre-made character sheets, and I end up being a hunter. Wait, weren't you talking about this yesterday during your stream? About how you want to go back to the days of a DM handing you a sheet?
Correct.
And be like, this is who you're playing.
You go, Dungeon Master, I wish to play a character. And they go, excellent. And they grab the dice and they roll the dice for you. And they go, all right, what did you want to play? You want to play a paladin? All right, well, you got a 14 strength, a 12 dex, an 18 con. And they smile at you. And then they go, you have a 9 int, a 12 wisdom, and a 14 charisma. And you go, ooh, wowee, that's a character, DM. And you go, that's right. And you hand them the sheet.
Oh, okay. I thought there was more, like, and it's a ranger, or it's a big middle finger on a paper. Like, it felt like it was building into a fuck you moment.
Nope. So the fuck you part is that a lot of DMs from that time period basically admit that they would give you because they rolled your stats. So they would tell you, they'd be like, all right, here's your strength, here's your dex, here's your con, all this shit, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then they would admit years later that they're like, yeah, I gave, like, obviously the dude wants to play a fighter, so I gave him a good strength score. Yeah. And then, I'd give him one shitty stat to basically make him like role play a character type deal.
Gotcha.
Like that was like the big twist back then was that, like, of course the DM's basically loading your character.
Yeah. Is trying to help you out. All right, so the DM hands out some pre-made character sheets, and I end up with being a hunter. The other are a mage, a monk, and a thief. Cool. The adventure starts, and we are immediately kidnapped by some humanoid insects and caged into a dark cave. They take any big weapons away. I would have had a sword. We managed to get out of the cage, and a fight between the 4 players and 4 insects ensues. We win, but the thief ends up with 1 HP. The monk wants to heal him, but the DM tells her that would be a waste since her heal can only recover up to 6 HP, and the rogue can only be healed by 3 since his max HP is 4. We ask how We can get HP back, and the DM says we'll recover 1 HP after every long rest. Jesus. We roleplay a bit to decide how to get out of there. I have a tracking skill, but it only works outside, so it's useless right now, which I tell the others in character. The DM smirks at me and tells me, that's fun, isn't it? I kind of wanted to say no. I have the tracking skill that I can't use. I would have had a sword, but it's been taken away. And as a hunter, I could have an animal companion, but I have to earn/tame that first. I can only collect trophies from things I've killed that give me an attack bonus. It's the only skill of mine I can use. Being restricted in my skills and weapons would be fun if I was a higher level and forced to use skills or weapons I rarely use in a challenging and creative way. In this situation, I can barely do anything. Game continues. The DM talks a bit more about his planned campaign. The campaign is supposed to be a sandbox setting. He tells us proudly that there will be no overarching plot, and it's all up to player agency. If the sessions are ever boring, then that is great because that's how life is. Okay. Somehow, we find my sword and a very wobbly bridge over a deep, dark hole. We have a long rope that we tie around my character's waist, and I go first. I have to do a dex roll and succeed. The others have lower dex, so I try to make a handrail out of the rope to make the roll easier for them. I have a grappling hook and ask the DM if there's anything in the stone walls I can hook to. He tells me no. So I ask, is there a crack in the stone floors and I can shove my sword into so that I can tie the rope to that? He says, I would love to let you do that, but there is nothing there.
Okay.
Something tells me he wouldn't love for me to do that, or else he might have invented a crack in the floor. Just tell me no, don't sugarcoat it weirdly. With a bit of struggle and some lost HP, we all make it over. We have another fight. At the end, the thief stays at 1 HP, the wizard has 1 HP, and I have 3 HP out of 9. The DM loves it and tells us how great that it is that there are real consequences in this world and that there are no saving throws and therefore characters will die immediately. So during the campaign, we'll have to make new characters. But that's good because the characters don't matter because the campaign isn't about them. Listen, I'm a relatively new to D&D. Maybe this is beyond my surface level comprehensions, but if the game does not have an overarching plot, and it also isn't about the characters, what happens, we just walk around and do stuff. Is that normal? Am I missing something? Also, I specifically mentioned before the game that I like having a character I can connect to, and the DM agreed. I think the DM and I have just different definitions of that. I don't like it when my character comes to connect with just dies. TLDR, the DM thinking having no skills is fun. The DM thinks when players die, that's fun. The DM thinks thinking about having a game that's not about the characters is fun. The DM thinks having no storyline is fun. I think all that can be fun, but definitely not at the same time. Interesting. What do you got? What do you got?
Okay, so initially, the base argument that characters dying is fun.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, same.
I think that when a character dies, you immediately deepen everybody's connection to the story.
Yeah.
Because you have now made an event that has transpired that affects everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
When Veldrin died and it affected the whole group.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I had an amazing time afterwards role-playing the aftermath of that event.
Yeah.
With my new character, mind you.
Yeah.
Totally great. I think that you should be okay with your character dying.
Yes.
You should view it as something that makes the world real and tangible. And I'm about to throw out a really fucking pretentious word.
Okay.
But verisimilitude. The suspension of disbelief that the world is real.
Yeah.
That is huge. The moment you get your players with that, the moment you get them to believe that your world is real, you can fucking do anything.
Yep.
Amazing stuff happens.
Yep.
Now, I initially was like, okay, I see what the DM's cooking.
Yeah.
But when the DM started to like not even give them not even extend an olive branch.
Yeah.
And started like stonewalling them.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I don't like that. Like, I love the idea of the character being like, can I wedge my sword, like this thing into the ground to like create like a python or something like that. I'm like, oh, dude, fucking yes, that's exactly what I wanted. But he's like, no, see, I'd love for you to do that, but that's not actually.
Yeah, that sounds like
that's condescending as fuck.
A beginning DM pitfall, honestly, is what that sounds like. And I guess this person DM'd for 20 years, but that sounds like a pitfall that a lot of newbie DMs fall into, where again, you want to tell the story in a specific way, but then the players kind of find a way to bypass that. So you instinctively want to stonewall because it needs to be told in a particular way. And
wait.
Yeah, what?
No, it's that the DM being like, wait.
Yep, exactly.
Don't go that way. Hold on.
I will say from the player's perspective that I also think they remind me, and maybe it's just because I've been dealing with these comments, they remind me of the typical 5e player who wants to play it safe, who wants to do big narrative stories, who doesn't want the danger, who doesn't want the threat, who wants to be able to go through this, and anything you take away from that individual immediately becomes unfair because we're no longer playing the system the way it's supposed to be played. And I've had players like that where they go, they don't like it shit homebrew. They don't want things changed. They don't want any of this because they have such a perfect understanding of the system that if they play their cards correctly, the way that it's supposed to be played, they'll never be in any trouble, never in any danger. They will always be the victor. And when you go in there and go not so fast and start changing shit around, there is a mindset of the 3E head where it literally is like, or the 5E head, there is sort of that mindset of like, well, that's not fair because I need to be in control and you're taking that away from me right now. And I feel uncomfortable out of my element.
In one of my other games, so you notice how you recently moved over and you were like, hey, flanking gives you a +2 now.
Yeah.
I did that a while ago.
Right.
I looked at 4th edition and I went, damn, baby, we treated you so poorly. And I embraced 4th edition and I immediately started putting it into my game.
Yeah.
And I did that in one of my players who is a, I don't want to call them a power gamer. But they are definitely very knowledgeable about every system we play.
They're power gaming adjacent?
Adjacent. They are.
They're a control player.
Yes, they know exactly what they're doing in every game that we play. Because they have to be in control.
I
wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that they vie to control the table.
No. Let me rephrase that. Not control the table. Essentially control their outcome of their character. Because I have such a mastery of the system, I know exactly what I need to do to survive it. And then you come in and then you go, hey, we're doing these rules. Hey, we're doing this, blah, blah, blah. Then
it's like flanking now is a +2 instead of advantage.
Right, exactly.
And they went, what? No. And I went, well, hold on.
Yeah.
So technically the average of advantage versus disadvantage is technically a 5. So it's like a 25% chance. This was guaranteed number that,
essentially advantage and disadvantage, which is also why I stepped away from it as well, because advantage is just such a big buff. Advantage effectively equals the same as a +5 or +6 bonus in D&D. And that's pretty fucking significant. I was just kind of the mindset with we were like, I want to try these I want to do the +2 flanking rules. Is +2 is a very simple number.
Correct.
We don't have to worry about adding, in 3E, there was a bunch of miscellaneous bonuses that effectively you're building up this huge math problem to figure out what your number was. +2 is a very easy addition where you go, okay, what'd you roll? Add 2 to that. There's no other bonuses floating around, so that's fine. So that's why I was like, all right, let's do +2. I get a little hesitant when I get too deep into 3E because then you start straying away from what 5E is. And we've had this conversation as well. There's the spirit of 5E. With games like Pathfinder and 3E, you can keep adding more crunch until the cows come home because the expectation of those systems is there's going to be some crunch. With 5E, shit needs to be resolved quick and fast, and that's trying to keep that spirit. Anyways, but yeah, continue.
No, it was a moment where they went, I don't like this because it breaks my class. And I went, no. You still benefit from advantage. It's just instead of a +5 or, rolling 2 dice, it's a guaranteed +2. Not only that, I'm introducing height advantage as well. So like the ranged version of flanking is if you're on a higher plane than the other creature. So if you're a ranger and you're 20 feet above the dude on the ground, you have like height advantage.
You have a +2.
So you get a +2 to your attack roll.
Yeah.
So that way, if you're whatever class you're playing, you still get that benefit without having to be in melee.
Yeah, that's cool. That's hold on one second. I gotta write something down.
Maybe you can have all of my homebrew. Trust me. I don't.
Height advantage. Okay, yeah.
It immediately makes elevation super important in battle maps.
Yeah.
And it immediately makes the players play tactical as fuck. In my setting, I have bad guys. They're called Morlings. They're like half monster creatures. They're super fucking gnarly. They watch a Morling roll onto a plateau that's above the fighter. And now I'm like, hey, this guy has a +2 against hitting you. And they're like, oh, fuck. And immediately the other ranged character in the party is like, I'm going to fucking duel this guy on the other platform. And now we're fighting each other. We're using cover and all this stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
It immediately changes the whole battlefield once you start introducing elevation and incentivizing elevation.
That's fun. I like that. Yeah, I'll probably end up using that. That sounds really good. I like that. I like that a lot. Damn, yeah. I like shield blocking. I love parrying.
Oh yeah, dude.
I love.
I'm actually a little upset that we didn't fight.
I know you were wanting to. I think session 2 you'll get a chance.
Nice.
I think there's gonna be combat
opportunities. I really wanted to use my
2.
shield block.
Yeah, just to go. Holds it up. Reduces the damage, maybe even reduces all of it. You're pushing through, and hell yeah, it's good shit. Yeah, I think, and that's also what I think. I think that 5e just needs just a little adjustment in the combat department with introducing some more options, so that it feels like you can be a little bit more engaged with the battle. Because right now, the only time I see players engaged with fights is if we're doing phase combat. Like, that's it. It's if we're in the middle of a boss fight, and that's because shit's always happening. And I think the fight went really well with the final fight in Curse of Strahd, because everyone was like, okay, flanking. Remember, there's flanking.
Absolutely.
Let's do
get
this.
In there.
Yeah, let's aim this shit. You need to do shit. The only time, excuse me, the only time I saw. And I noticed this in phase 2. I had one of the fights literally feel like a Final Fantasy 14 fight. I had it feel like it was very organized. Like there was mechanics that you had to deal with, essentially. I don't remember the fight too well, but I remember there was like a light version and void version of the same character. And that every time something happened, or when you would do that, it would switch them over, essentially. And then while they were over, they were able to do like other things that were really fucking powerful, and you had to kind of like try and switch them back as fast as they could. So it was when I finally was noticing that, the players are seemingly very engaged right now, and they're talking with each other, and they're going back and forth, and they're strategizing like, no, let's not do this. Let's do that. You're like, this is the most engaged I've seen you guys right now in a battle, You
guys are locked the fuck in.
So yeah, I feel like the moment I saw that and realized that, anytime I will keep an eye out on battles, and I'll just be like, this doesn't really feel locked in. This feels like we're just going through the motions, which is why for this arc, I was like, all right, we've got flanking, we've got charging, we've got new shield mechanics, we've got things you can do with your reaction now. There's other things we're going to be implementing soon, like fainting, where you could like spend a bonus action to try and get your next attack at advantage, like almost like steady shot. You know what I mean? Like I want to add that. I want to add taunting mechanics. Like I want to do all this shit so that we can make combat more engaging. But at the same time, if you wanted to still play the character where you're just a one action Andy, like you can still do that. You know, you don't have to use any of these. This is just flair. This is just extra shit
absolutely.
you could do. That's the beauty of it, you know, but still you want to kind of like keep it in the system and all that shit. So once we do that, and like I said, I'm also very curious and excited with how like combat's gonna go, because I can already see like you and Junie like charging to the front line, holding your shields up, ready to fucking fight. And then if you get attacked, you're like, reaction, block, hold that shit up, you know, like I could see all that happening. And then like, you know, having another martial character like Lobos, you know, kind of slide underneath. Well, not anymore because he's swashbuckler, but you know, have another martial character, probably honestly Junie at this point, literally going around. No, it could be Lobos. Go in and then start flanking, so you guys get a +2 bonus. Oh yeah, so much shit, so much cool shit that can be done. It feels very engaging. But yeah, the short of it with this is this definitely feels kind of in the line of like the player was expecting a 5e game and is not getting a 5e game, because anytime you show people who was not used to 3e or 2e or 1e how it was, they look at it like, oh yeah, ridiculous. Like, oh my god, how are you? Ew.
Why was your grappling 4 pages?
Yeah.
And I go, well, nobody used it. That's why.
Yeah. Well, also just like when they look at like hit points and stuff, you know, when you're like, oh yeah, like I was so excited that we're back to D4 wizards for hardcore, because I fucking missed that.
Oh.
And we're like, yeah, wizards had, you know, spellcasters had a D4. They weren't meant to be hit. If you hit them, their body breaks in front of you.
Wait!
Yeah.
Don't do it! Explodes.
Crumbles immediately. Yeah, it's just a different style of game. So, with that said, my verdict is, I think everyone's wrong in this. No one's a winner. What should have happened is there should have been a session 0 where the DM got to outline what they wanted to do. If you're in session 1 and going, wait, we're not playing 5e, there has been a breakdown in communication. And man, yeah, everyone kind of has to know what it is, because I don't think it's a problem that the DM likes it when a player dies. I don't think, I mean, obviously actively trying to kill a player is one thing, but like we get that. Narratively, player death is pretty significant, and it should be, and that's why we like it, you know, when it does happen, but it you know, has to be earned. It can't just be taken, right? But so like, and everything the DM explained, from like, it's a sandbox world, player characters die very easily, player characters aren't the main character, they're just kind of in this world as it's happening. Inherently, and maybe this is a hot take, I don't think any of those are bad things, personally. I genuinely don't. If it's communicated, it has to be communicated, and I don't think it was in this occurrence.
Guess what, motherfuckers? You gotta talk.
You gotta talk to each other. You gotta let in, the DM's gotta be like, this is what I want to do, and you gotta be okay if a player's like, that's not really what I want to do. You know, I've interviewed people for games, and I've had them, after I do my spiel, my sales pitch, and give them that pass, they go, that have said, oh, you know what? It sounds like you've done a lot of work on this, and that's great, and it does sound like really neat and cool, but no, I don't want to do this. That doesn't sound that's not what I want to play. And you're just like, okay, then we're done with this conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time. And I appreciate that. I really appreciate when someone's like, you know what? I don't think it's for me. I'm not, no, I don't, none of that sounds good.
That would save my life. So if I wish.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to do it now because I play with a very...
Right.
I play with a very, like, strict group of friends.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would love, if nothing more, if I had in the past people look at all the shit I was doing and going, hey man, obviously you really care about the thing that you're working on.
Yeah.
It's not for me though.
It's not for me. And that is totally fine. And so, yeah, a lot of degrees here. DM needs to be able to open up with what they want to do. The player has to have the ability, not only the ability, but they are also responsible to say, not for me. Like, if you're a player who says, oh, cool, yeah, that sounds great, yeah, I'm in, but secretly you don't want to be in, and you're just saying yes, so you're not looking like an asshole, like, don't do that. Like, that
you're a weirdo.
It's just so much, yeah, at that, you're not going to have fun. The DM's not going to have fun because you're not having fun, and you weren't able to play that to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, just, it's better for you to be like, nah,
straight up,
nah, dog, I don't want to play. And as the DM, you can't take personal offense to that. You can't then be like, well, why not? Maybe you don't understand what I'm trying to do. No. It's just different, different for everyone.
Simple and sweet. You go, hey man, this isn't for me. And you go, oh, understood. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, thank you.
And here's the other thing, folks. Yeah. I'll leave you with this bit of advice that was told to me, and I've experienced it before firsthand. Your best friend, the person whom you love, like a brother, sister, what have you, could be a shit player at your table.
Yep.
Not everybody is meant for every table.
Yep.
Not every friend is meant for every table. Sometimes the people that you hang out with just
terrible
don't
players.
see it the same way you do.
Terrible player. Yeah, well, not terrible. Okay, terrible player.
That's okay.
Terrible for your style. Yeah, just being aggressive. Piece of shit.
Awful.
Garbage.
I've had friends before where I love playing games with them. Love hanging out, shooting the shit, banter, what have you. People I've like hung out with for years that I would never invite to my table.
Yeah.
Because I just know we do not click when it comes to TTRPGs.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Do not try to force your friends onto your table, man. Or you both will be upset.
Back in the day, I hated DMing for my best friend in the world. I hated DMing for them. They were a control player. They were someone that had to know all of the rules and were very upset when you were just starting to free ball. Like, if you were like, I'm doing a different kind of ruling on this, you're like, that's not what the book says. Like, and because of that, they were an invincible player. There were also a person that did not like to lose. So some of our most heated arguments were at the D&D table. Absolutely. And even now he'll acknowledge, like, oh my God, I was a fucking menace. Like, how did you handle it? But at the same time, I do feel like it made me a better DM because I very much at that point kept myself to the rules and worked
trial by fire
and worked. Yeah, it was a trial by fire to the point where, like, now I'm doing this and there is that hesitance to be like, hey, I'm doing a custom thing, or like, hey, this is the beginning of it, mind you, or hey, this is how I'm rolling this, and people are like, oh yeah, cool, awesome, oh yeah, great, wonderful,
sick, man.
And I'm just like, oh my God, I can do that, holy shit. And then now the gloves are off and that's all I do. It's just like, yeah, we're doing it this way now, and that's the way, and it's, I'm uncapped, man. I'm losing my mind.
I'm crazy, and everybody goes, oh, can I buy that craziness? And you go,
yeah.
You want to buy that?
You
and they go, yeah,
man. Well, Crown, guess what? That's a cast, baby. That's a podcast.
Stop inventing time control where 2.5 hours and 3 hours vanish suddenly.
It's every time, man. It's every time. We do have another D&D horror story that we're going to read, which is going to, let's be fair, it's going to be the DM of patently unfair house rulings. We're definitely going to do that in the post show. Make sure you guys join the Patreon and become a $10 member. Before that, a couple of things. Let me check here real quick. Got to switch over to the Dumpster Delvers fucking patron. We switch to that real quick. Excited now. Also, been loving the support for Dumpster Delvers. We keep seeing more and more of a larger audience come in on both channels. So thank you guys so much for being here and just letting us shoot the shit. This is
listen to us ramble.
Yeah, this is the easiest job of the fucking week, guys. Like, easiest. It is the absolute easiest of the week. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let me count. We have 18 people who are on the dumpster tier or higher on our Patreon. If we get to 20 people, I will eat a habanero pepper, and Crown will watch in the post show, and it'll be fun. It'll be for you guys. I just want to eat a really spicy hot pepper, and so yeah. And if we get to 50, Crown will eat a habanero pepper, and I will join him. I will eat a second pepper. I will join him. So my man's not suffering.
I'm looking at webcams.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, webcams are dirt cheap now. I remember them bitches being expensive as shit. They're like $18.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah. You could definitely get like a dirt. Yeah. So the face cams are going to be for shorts that we're going to put up on the YouTube channel as well. So yeah. So you're not going to see webcam on our podcast, but you may see them in shorts or in post shows and things like that. So just to add a little bit of value to that. But yes, so make sure you guys join. Also, want to give a shout out to a member of Grandma's garage sale. And it's a shout out to the one, the only Granny Smith. Who wanted us to know that that's the name of an apple, which it is, a Granny Smith apple. Absolutely. I think it's green, right? Granny Smith is a green apple, correct?
I'm pretty sure Granny Smith is a red apple.
Fuck.
Oh, no, you're correct. They're green.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. They're green.
They're like a neon green.
Yeah. So you were completely wrong. And I just thought, I just thought something I was absolutely certain about. So yeah, shout outs to Granny Smith. Thank you very, very much for your support. All right. Well, guys, that's a cast. We will see you on the next time. Hopefully shit will be kept together for another week. Maybe. Hopefully. Maybe not. Because I guess that would give us something to talk about. So absolutely. All over the fucking place. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.